Hey guys, welcome back to the Full Court Press podcast. I'm Dheeraj. That is hopefully Aaron, or that. I mean that. You know what? I've given up on trying to figure out how these directions work. But the one thing we do know is below us is Advaita, and that is
Oh,
going to stay constant almost always. Hopefully, we try to make it remain constant because we like to do like a clockwise slash anti-clockwise. Again, you know what? I'm not even gonna try anymore when it comes to directions. It's
no,
just
I'll drink Complan
basically
and I'll change.
Advaita shorter than both of us, so he's sitting below us. So
I'll
yeah,
drink Complan one day. It'll
you
change. Don't
drink
worry.
Complan. Yeah, okay, sure. I'm sure that'll work for you. Why don't you try? Okay, and first of all, guys, we want to say thank you so much for all the support and love you've given us. I mean, the messages you sent us have been wonderful. This, of course, been a dream of ours for quite a while, and we really appreciate the support and you taking the time to listen to three absolute amateurs talk nonsense about what they see in the sports world. It really means a lot to us, and thank you so much. We hope to keep this going for a while, and we will do our best to bring you some form of reliability when it comes to sporting,
Entertainment.
reliability, and of course entertainment when it comes to sporting, when it comes to the sporting world. And with that being said, so about 45 minutes ago, two things happened. The first thing are the prediction we made in the first episode about the Bucks sweeping the Magic
Went
in the
up.
first round of the playoffs went
Was horribly wrong.
absolutely
We,
nothing. It
we
was
got
just
it horribly wrong.
things just went horribly wrong. Game one, I mean, the
Yeah,
Magic beat the Bucks.
It could be 4-1.
wow.
It could be 4-1, but we all
It
predicted
could be.
3-1.
It's probably going to be 4-1, but like all of us predicted 4-0, and I think everyone around the world predicted a 4-0 for the Bucks. But it's
I
okay.
mean, I mean
As
the
long as that
Magic were
yeah.
really good.
But they did it. They did the same thing last year, right? I think they beat Toronto in Game 1 of last year. So,
Yeah,
and then they
let's see
never
how
won
that
a
goes.
single game after that.
Let's see how that goes. But as I said before, we are all amateurs. We are not statistical analysts who can expertly predict the outcome of the series. So please don't roast us for our predictions, even if they do go horribly wrong.
Yeah.
But even if you do
No,
want to, let it fly in the comments below. As I've always said, we're completely open to any form of criticism, anything you want to say.
criticism.
Yep. Okay. But the second thing that happened is that for the first time,
PSG won.
finally they go through to the final uh, after all the money that's coming from the Middle East into PSG, all the money that's been put in to buy star players, to bring in great coaches. Finally,
Yep.
they finally reached the promised land of the Champions League final, but they haven't. I mean, they have another game to go. If they win that game, then they'll truly reach the promised land. But until then, I think all PSG
Yep.
fans around the world, how many ever there are of them,
Are
will be
super excited.
absolutely delirious. I mean, guys, I mean, you saw the reactions on the pitch. I mean, superstar players like
They're
Neymar and
so happy.
Mbappe.
Dude, Neymar was I've never seen Neymar smile so much ever.
Exactly. And Neymar is part of the team that won 6-1 against PSG with Barcelona. And he played a key
Yeah.
role in that victory. But I mean, it just shows how much this means to the players to finally reach the Champions League final. And guys, so first thoughts on the game. What did you expect was going to happen before the game? Did you think that this game would be closer? Because I think, as we all saw, was absolute
Yeah.
domination by PSG.
I expected PSG to win, but I didn't think it would be so one-sided. Like I think in the first half especially, I could count on my fingertips the amount of times Leipzig made any chances whatsoever. And they couldn't handle the pace of Neymar and Mbappe, man. It was too much for them.
Yeah,
But
but
I
I think.
expected it to be a 1-0.
Mhm.
But I didn't expect it to be this bad.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't like. What do you have to say about like how the game uh, went as opposed to what you thought the game would look like? I mean, because personally, I thought Leipzig would put up a really good fight. I even thought they might take the game, like win the game. But the game was absolute domination of PSG from start to finish. So, Ron, what do you think about that?
Um, I mean, I'm happy with what I saw because I remember the last thing I said about PSG was against Atlanta. It was a one-man show, and that was why they won. Apart from Eric Choupo-Moting's heroics, but I think we saw a balanced performance.
Hmm.
We saw defenders, midfielders, and attackers playing well. Again, Neymar and Mbappe is always going to steal the limelight. They're always going to be good. But yeah, I expected it to be a little bit closer.
Hmm.
But I'm happy because I think we need a competent opponent to face a team potentially like Bayern in the finals.
And
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I think we all believe that Bayern will go to the final.
Yeah.
But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's look at this game first. Okay, let's talk about Leipzig first. I mean, after the quarterfinal performance, where they only won 2-1, but I mean, uh, the lack of quality. They were bereft of much quality up front, but the amount of chances they created was absolutely insane. Like, even if they won 5-1 or 4-1, whatever it was, I don't think Atletico could have complained. And it was
Yeah.
completely the opposite today. I mean,
They were clearly the better team in the last match.
Yeah.
yeah, this game
It,
they barely created any chances to speak of.
yeah. No, to be fair, I have the stats open right now. Um, they both had 14 shots, but Leipzig only had three on target and PSG had nine. But then
And
again,
Yeah. That probably
on
tells the
both
story.
both of PSG dominated. It wasn't even close.
yeah,
I
and I
just
think
felt there was a lack of uh, quality on
yeah,
one side of it.
lack of quality is one
Yeah,
thing,
just
but
lack of quality. Yeah, I don't think it's. I think it's wrong to say lack of effort. It was definitely they probably put in their best effort, but it's just it was just too much for them at the end of the day.
I think tactically speaking, there was not much Julian Nagelsmann could have done in order to prevent this result. Because I think PSG just had a wonderful game. I mean, the entire team, everything clicked. Uh, I feel like it was everything Tuchel wanted to happened on the pitch, and they could have easily had more. They could have had 5 or 6. There was some poor defending from Leipzig in the lead up to the first and the second goal as well. But I think that. Maybe the only thing I could say in terms of what the Leipzig coach Julian Nagelsmann could have done different is this team is renowned for their high press and how they maintain a high line but still manage to cover all the space that's in behind the defensive line. But today
Yeah,
they kind of broke away from that. For the first 10 minutes they were pressing the ball quite high, but then they decided to almost sit back and let the defenders play out from the back. And with Neymar playing like almost a free role, like it was, I mean, he almost went back to defensive midfield, to get the ball from the defense and move it forward. And leaving a player like that unmarked leaving a player like that in open space without any defenders to challenge him, I think is a big mistake. And I think that's the one thing they could have done, which could have made this a closer game. But apart from that, guys, what are your thoughts on Leipzig's
I mean,
performance?
I think with that, right? Yeah, Neymar had the free roaming option. He was pretty much playing as a false nine, and since Leipzig were playing a three in the back, right? What they would do is again, we haven't mentioned that Di Maria was also back.
I think today they were veering.
it would,
They were switching a little bit. It was more. Sometimes it was
yeah,
three. Sometimes it was
Four.
sometimes it was
four. Sometimes
4.
you're
Yeah,
playing something like a four at the back with one sitting midfielder. But
Yeah.
yeah, they were kind of switching between the two formations. There was a lack of clarity, in terms of what they wanted.
The thing about PSG, which is going to scare most opponents, is if the midfielders can get the ball to their front line, those three players, Neymar, Mbappe, and Di Maria,
and
have
Di
the
Maria.
quality to get past the high press. And if you can get past the high press, and if you can get past defenders, with players like Mbappe, he can easily just dribble and run past any defender in the world.
And I
It's going to
mean,
be hard for them. I
potentially,
think it's
I think
yeah.
the kind of speed that PSG possess in that front line, I think the fact that the fact that they can get in behind any defensive line because of the speed they possess. I mean, Mbappe and
Yeah,
Neymar are two of the quickest players you'll see, and Di Maria also has that quality to drop in behind a little bit and play in the hole. Uh, and I mean, he's a quality creative playmaker. I mean, I don't know where Aaron's gone. That probably has something to do. But yeah, as we were saying, that PSG front three is absolutely lethal. And today all three of them showed out.
it showed.
I thought Di Maria was
Di Maria was sensational.
Di
He
Maria was.
was involved in almost every. He was involved in all 3 goals. Right, every single goal
Um, I
he
think
had started to.
he scored the
He
second
he
goal.
assisted the first and third one. And I think he scored the second
Yeah,
one.
he did
Yeah,
score the second one. I mean, Di Maria was really good today. But I think once again, I think the standout player for PSG was
Neymar.
their star Neymar, and uh, after all the, I think Neymar has finally settled down into his role as the best player and the leader of that PSG team. While which he
Yeah.
may not have done previously. I mean, there's a lot of unrest. He obviously was very public that he wanted to leave the club in the last summer to go back home to go back to Barcelona. But since he's come back from injury in 2020, especially towards the end, right before the lockdown, and then after the lockdown in the Champions League as well, he's been simply excellent. And I think he's playing that role of a creative playmaker. Again, the end product, there's something there. He's just not able to put away his chances. And that's something he needs to be able to do against Bayern, because, again, he's facing a much better team there than Leipzig in terms of quality and in terms of the way they play.
I think also with that, right? You saw Neymar trying to get Bernard's goal.
Mhm.
Yeah.
He saw him
Yeah,
try to like put a foot and get the goal. I think it's maybe it has to do with confidence. I mean, he's playing so well in all areas of the pitch, other than actually scoring the goal. He's creating
Yeah.
everything. So
yeah, I think
maybe he needs some confidence, but I just think he has to put away his chances if they
If
have a
they play if they come to play PSG, right?
if they come to
Yeah.
Bayern.
yeah.
Sorry.
But
Yeah. Bayern.
but I think even against Lyon, I think it'll be important for Neymar to put away his chances. I mean, regardless, he's been incredible in the past two games. Really, the main, the best offensive player on the pitch, quite clearly, and just showcasing his entire range of skills. I think he's been absolutely spectacular. But also, I
But
think,
I agree with the point that you made about how they went away from their high press, which they usually play, right? And I think what happened was when they didn't stick to that tactic, it just allowed PSG to control more of the possession, right?
yeah,
And get more touches, and every single player got more touches. So
yeah.
that kind of gives each player confidence to play their game, and that allowed a lot of PSG's front three to get in behind the defense, and that created a lot of chances for them, and they credited them. They put away almost every single chance that they created.
I think PSG's midfield was very, very good. I think Marquinhos was
Yeah,
excellent in the sitting role, and I think that Paredes and Herrera were also really good. As Herrera, as you know, I mean, I was a massive fan of his when he was at Manchester United. He's
massive
such
fan.
an
Yeah,
active player, box to box, keeps moving and really plays for the
very good
badge.
defender, very good defensive midfielder.
Exactly, he just runs a lot. Uh, Not in a similar mold to N'Golo Kante, but the effort. I mean, the kind of stamina he
Yeah,
possesses, the tenacity he possesses, is very similar. He can win the ball and play the ball forward as well. I think he had a good game. Might have gone unnoticed today, but he had a good game as well.
he had a
Uh,
great game. Yeah,
but I
I
think,
think
yeah, Aaron?
again those three, like you said, those three they were so good today, and that's probably the reason why again PSG won, because if the midfielders play well, it's very likely that the attackers are going to flourish
yeah,
because the attackers
they
need the
keep the ball.
midfield to get the ball to them, and those three have the capability to again get past any defense in the world, in my opinion, on that day.
Yeah, and but I think we can, again, the players in Neymar and Mbappe. Obviously, as the game started, Neymar played or like on the left wing and Mbappe played up front. But you could see them switching roles all the time. Sometimes Mbappe was on the left, Neymar was dropping back as a false nine, and sometimes playing up front. Neymar essentially had a free role, and Mbappe was able to roam the front line. And I think PSG were just absolutely excellent today. And I thought we could look into the goals, because I felt that Leipzig could have avoided conceding one, maybe two of the goals. Because I felt that the first goal, the set
It
piece
was
which
just poor
which
defense.
Marquinhos scored the header, that was it was a great header, and I mean he jumped very high to score the header, but I mean it was an open header, it was a free
Unmarked.
header. I think
Yeah,
it was Yusuf Poulsen, Leipzig's captain, that was supposed to be marking him, who's also supposed to be an aerial threat as a striker. But I think he left him completely open. He lost his man, and I think that cost him dearly for that header, because he was completely open. There was no challenge. Nothing was putting him off. And I think a player with the aerial ability of Marquinhos, who's obviously an excellent defender, but also with excellent heading ability, uh, it was too easy for him to put away.
I mean,
and
yeah,
and even the second goal could have been avoided, right? I think the second goal was a mistake from Leipzig's goalkeeper that allowed Neymar to get possession, or no, not Neymar, one of the midfielders to get possession,
Yeah,
and then obviously it translated to Di Maria putting it in the
yeah.
back of
Again,
the net.
that was a very simple mistake
that
from
was
Leipzig's
Neymar's
goalkeeper.
touch.
Peter Gulaxi. But I think the one thing we'd be remiss if we didn't talk about was Neymar's back heel flick assist on that goal
Oh
was
wow!
absolutely insane.
I didn't think that was I thought he didn't mean to do it.
Yeah, I know exactly. I thought it was just a deflection
I thought it was a happy-go-lucky moment. Yeah.
that fell into Di Maria's path. But once I looked at the highlight and in slow mo, the kind of
He
skill
fully
and
went.
technical ability you need to be able to pull that off. I mean, on the volley, back heel, no
Insane.
look pass, it was just incredible. I mean, that moment just showcased what Neymar's return to
Technical
form
ability.
is all about.
Yeah,
And
he's
technical ability was just superb.
Do you think Neymar's best position is at the center, or do you think he plays
yeah.
better as a?
I think Neymar in the current PSG team, again, no comparison here in terms of quality. But I think Neymar in this current PSG team is playing a role very similar to what
Messi does at Boston.
Messi
Messi
does in
does it
Barcelona. And I
Barcelona.
think one of the boys was talking about this when you were watching the game. And I was like,
Yeah.
wow, actually makes a lot of sense because he was just moving around the forward line a lot. Sometimes he was dropping back to receive the ball from the defense.
And
And
he was doing everything for them.
exactly in
He was
terms of
orchestrating their offense. Yeah.
exactly, he was orchestrating their offense, getting the ball forward, taking on defenders, and I thought his positioning was also very good in the front third.
Yeah.
And I thought Neymar is just, I mean, he's finally fulfilling the potential that we all
That he
knew he
was.
had, not just as a
Yeah.
player,
He's
but in terms
he's
of his
living up to the hype.
exactly, but also in terms of his attitude. He's buying into PSG system, what Tuchel wants to do, and he's just been he's been
I think
I
spectacular.
think
he's took on the mantle of being the leader of this team. Yeah. And I think when he's accepted responsibility, I think he's realized that he has to step up.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I
And
completely
he's
agree with
done
you.
it brilliantly the last
Uh,
2-3 games.
I thought it was quite funny when he tried to steal the third goal of Banat. But again, that shows
Yeah.
how desperate he is to get back
Put
in
one in the back of the
goal
net. Yeah.
scoring form. And I think he's going to be, obviously, him and Mbappe are going to be the key uh, in the final, whoever they play. But even more so than Mbappe, I think Neymar, if if PSG's opponent is able to neutralize Neymar, that will give them a much greater chance of winning the game. But again, I think we
Yeah.
all know how difficult that is to do,
It was
isn't it?
really difficult. Yeah. It's going to be difficult to contain him with the kind of form
but
he's
then
in.
again, I think PSG will have. It's weird because okay, fine. I think we're all assuming that Bayern's going through.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
all
Can
think Bayern's
say that
going to
again.
go through. Yeah,
But the thing is, right, with Barcelona in that match, Messi couldn't do anything because he
They would
had
put
no
two
one.
people on him. Yeah.
Nobody was playing. Yeah, exactly. And they were pressing Messi a lot, and he had no space.
hmm
With PSG, though, if Neymar is in that Messi role, he has players like Mbappe who can easily get past
exactly.
whoever's
Yeah.
guarding him,
He has
right?
he
So I
has
think
You know, that
that
matchup of
that
Dave,
additional
if
option.
Mbappe continues to be on the wing, I think that matchup. When Mbappe plays on the right, yeah.
no, he plays
Left.
either on the left or down the middle because Di Maria sticks mostly to the right hand side.
Yeah,
That
but
seems very helpful. That both
it
can be
would be cool to
versatile
see that
options bench.
that Davies and Mbappe matchup if they do get matched up.
I think that's a very good possibility actually. Maybe Bayern switch fullbacks
Yeah,
on
exactly.
defense, like
Because
maybe
I think
Kimmich.
only Davies can keep up with his pace, right? I don't
Yep,
think
I mean one of the fastest players.
Kimmich
I
has.
think maybe
Yeah,
I
again
think
Kimmich is an excellent
Messi
defender.
and they can all switch.
I think,
yeah, they can all play in whatever position. Yeah, that's the
They
versatility that Bayern brings. Yeah.
but again, this is all assuming that Bayern go through to the final, which isn't a certainty, but it is what we expect. And I think we've spoken at length about the PSG Leipzig game and almost the kind PSG on defense. I thought they almost sat back a little bit because of the kind of pace they have on the counter attack. Once they won the
Yeah.
ball back, the transition to the attack was so quick. Uh, and I mean, I don't think any of us watch many Ligue 1 games, but I think these two Champions League games, we've been able to see them utilize that pace that they have up front, uh, especially when they win the ball back in their own half. What do you guys
Yeah.
think?
What about you?
Yeah, no, I agree. I think it's difficult. I think PSG do it better than any other team, right? And it's good that they're actually making use of the extra pace that they have
The
on every
personnel,
single
great
team.
use of the personnel, isn't it?
Personnel as well, yeah. And I think, if I think they're best at catching any team off guard, right? And if they're able to do this against whoever they play in the final, then it can get dangerous.
Yep. So PSG Leipzig 3-0 dominant win for PSG. Finally, after
I
all that
think
investment and all that
we
time.
for having a great season.
I'm sorry.
Getting to semifinals. We should congratulate Leipzig for getting to the
Oh
semifinals.
yeah. I
Yeah,
mean,
I don't think anybody saw them going this far, right? At least
absolutely.
I
I mean,
That
didn't.
in the first game
Leipzig have
itself
been
is beating up for a club like that, in my opinion.
Superb,
Yeah,
and the kinds of teams that they've beaten in the knockout. I mean,
they
they beat
beat him
Spurs, who I mean were in the Champions League final last year. After
last
that,
year.
they beat a team like Atletico Madrid with so much pedigree, like Champions League pedigree, making the final twice in the last 4 to 5 years. And Leipzig have been excellent. Hats off to them. And they've
And they
had a great
deserve to
season.
win. They deserve to win all the matches.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
They absolutely dominated Spurs and Atletico Madrid. They deserve to win their matches. They play great football. I think that coach, Julian Nagelsmann, is just 33 years old, you know. I think
yeah.
he's an absolute star.
But
Um,
there's a lot of positives to take back for this team. Yeah, I
yeah,
think
for
they've
sure.
had a great run.
And considering they lost Warner, they've
Yeah,
actually
who
lost to
didn't
let go
play? Yeah,
best
This,
striker, looking best forward
mhm.
is
Yeah, and they're still able to do
again.
well in the Bundesliga on the return after the coronavirus lockdown, as well as beat Atletico in the Champions League, you know.
yeah.
So hats
So yes,
off to Leipzig. Congratulations, PSG. Let's look forward quickly to the upcoming game, which is Bayern Munich versus Lyon. Uh,
Lyon.
okay, so I think Lyon have done really well to get this far in the tournament. I mean, reaching the
Yeah,
semifinals is a massive deal. I mean, they finished seventh in League On last year. Sorry, this year, and they managed to make the
yeah.
Champions League semi-final after beating a Man City team, which is obviously stacked with talent. But I think I'm going to ask you guys for your predictions and how you think the game will go. Aaron, why don't you start?
Predictions, I would say, I hope it's a close match. Um, but I'm gonna have to say Bayern beat Lyon 3-1.
Mhm. And do you think that Lyon might,
And I think Lyon have a chance. Yeah, if Lyon have a chance, it's going to fall on their captain, not captain. I mean their captain Memphis
Yeah.
Depay and
Yep.
their vice captain, who is I think one of the best midfielders in the world, right? One of the most talented midfielders, young
Yeah,
midfielders in the world.
uh,
What's his name? Hussein Awar.
Sam Awar, yeah.
I might butcher his name,
I
but
mean, nah, no,
Yeah.
I think you got it right. I think he's a top class player. Probably get to move to one of the big clubs soon enough. But yeah, I think those two hold the
Pretty
key to
soon.
Lyon if they are to, I mean, shock the football world and Bayern Munich tomorrow.
If they do,
Actually,
it will be
today, tomorrow, yeah, now. Adu, what do you think?
yeah.
Predictions for the game?
I'm gonna take a similar stance. I think Bayern will win, but I think they'll win 3-0. I think Bayern would keep a clean sheet. I think I mean yeah sorry, Lyon have incredible talent, but I think it's just too much for them to handle. Bayern have world class players in every single position. Every single player is super versatile on that team, and they're a very well coached team as well.
Yeah.
So it'll be very difficult to beat them.
Yeah, I agree with the two of you. I think it'll be an even more dominant win for Bayern. I'm thinking something along the lines of 5-0, 5-1. Because I think this Bayern team are just something else, you know.
Yeah,
Again, defensively they do have some holes, but if Niklas Sule does play
yeah,
tomorrow instead of Jerome
it'll
Boateng,
be
I think that defensively they'll be as solid as a rock.
yeah.
But offensively, a player like again, I think Bayern's most important player is Thomas Muller. You know, his ability,
Yeah,
such a unique player. We've never seen anyone like him. His ability to find space, create space, and get in the correct positions in the offensive third, in the front third is unmatched. You know, I think Thomas Muller holds the key to this game and to the
yeah.
final if they do get there against PSG. And I think that Bayern will dominate again with the prowess of Robert Lewandowski up front. One of the best goalkeepers in the world still, a very good defense, and a world-class midfield. A player like Goretzka,
He's a
controlling.
tank.
Exactly. I mean, him as like the engine
Absolute
of that
tank.
team. And don't forget the quality they have to bench. Players like Coutinho, Coman, and so many more. So I think this is going to be this is not going to be a close one, in my
One-sided.
opinion.
I don't want it to be, but I think it is going to be one-sided.
But absolutely love for this game to be a close one, for it to be for
Yeah.
to go to extra time or penalties even. I mean, that's the one thing we haven't seen in the Champions League this year. So, guys, thank you so much. It is quite late at night, but actually, we're gonna go get a breakfast now at 2 a.m. Thank you so much for joining us for this podcast. This is a bit shorter. Hopefully, we can do more game reviews like these in the upcoming few days with the Champions League games and the NBA playoffs also going on. And again, thank you so much for your support. Smash that like button, just
Like
absolutely
button.
smash it. Tell a
Yeah,
friend about us.
comment down below what you think we should do next.
Yeah,
What kind of
comment.
guests we should bring.
Exactly. Yeah. Any suggestions, whoever you want to join the podcast, any of your friends are watching this, so who do you want us to get on the podcast? We're absolutely open to any suggestions. And yeah,
And also
thank you
tell
so
us how we
much.
can improve because, again, it's our third podcast together. We have lots
Yeah,
of areas to improve. So,
yeah, of
hopefully
course.
we get better. But then, yeah.
Again, we're amateurs. It's probably using amateur too much. People, please don't stop watching the podcast. But yeah, we would take any suggestions for improvement from you guys. Please let us know in the comments below. Smash that like button. Absolutely smash it. Tell a friend, subscribe, and thank you so much for
Subscribe,
joining us
ring the
once
bell
again.
for
Ring the
notifications.
bell. Ring the bell. And thank you so much for joining us. Peace out. Bye, guys.